A $1 trillion payday for Elon Musk. Grand Theft Auto getting delayed, again. And the AI in your phone? Yeah, that might be powered by Google pretty soon. So, what is going on? Let's break it all down.
Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we connect the dots on the biggest stories of the week. We're going to be looking at the wild west of AI data, what's new with your personal privacy, the latest in the entertainment world, and, of course, the mind-boggling money in big tech. All right, let's dive in. First up, let's talk about the engine that's driving, well, pretty much everything in tech right now, artificial intelligence. But here's the thing about this engine. It needs fuel, and that fuel is data. The fight over where that data comes from, it is getting really intense.
And really, it all boils down to that one fundamental question that the entire industry is scrambling to answer.
The answer to that question has kicked off this massive legal brawl. See, on one side, you have news publishers and content creators. And on the other, you have the AI companies that need just enormous amounts of text to train their models. A recent report claims a nonprofit called Common Crawl is basically giving AI giants a backdoor to scrape news behind paywalls. Now, Common Crawl says, no way, that's not us, but some of those publishers are saying their takedown requests are just going into a black hole.
Caption: Anna's archive URLs blocked by Google after takedown requests from publishers. The site is a search engine for shadow libraries of pirated books and articles. This whole battle is really being fought on two different fronts. The first is kind of in the digital shadows. At the request of publishers, Google has blocked almost 750 million links to a site called Anna's Archive, which is pretty much a search engine for pirated books and articles.
And the second front? That's happening in the boardroom, where companies are just writing massive checks. Instead of scraping data, they're striking deals. Take Snap. They just signed a $400 million deal for Perplexity AI to power their new search engine. That gives Perplexity access to data from over 900 million users. Wow.
You know, this race for data is getting so intense that even the biggest rivals are teaming up. According to Bloomberg, Apple is close to finalizing a deal to pay Google $1 billion a year just to use its super powerful AI model. And the goal? To finally give Siri the brain transplant it so desperately needs.
So, the AI on our devices is being shaped by this high-stakes billion-dollar war over information. But you know, as these tools get more powerful and baked into our daily lives, it brings up a really critical question. What does this all mean for our personal privacy? This week was a classic good news, bad news situation for your data. Let's start with the good news, a genuinely useful update from Google Chrome. If you turn on enhanced autofill, you can now let Chrome securely save and fill in super sensitive info like your passport or your driver's license number. Pretty handy.
But while Chrome is making it a little easier to manage your information, a new report is a stark reminder of just how vulnerable that data can be.
So, cybersecurity researchers over at ESET discovered 6 malicious Android apps right there on the Google Play Store, all pretending to be chat services. These apps were running something called a Trojan, which is basically malware that hides inside a normal-looking program to spy on you. It's a really good reminder that even the official app stores aren't 100% bulletproof.
This particular Trojan could actually record your audio and steal your messages. But it's not just these shadowy hackers we have to worry about. When the big companies get caught mishandling data, well, the consequences can be pretty expensive. Google just agreed to pay $30 million to settle a class action lawsuit over how YouTube collected data from kids.
So the lawsuit basically alleged that the company was improperly collecting data from its youngest users to power its advertising business. And get this, if you were under 13 and watching YouTube during that almost 7-year stretch, you might actually be eligible for a payment from this settlement.
So the takeaway here is pretty clear. You gotta be vigilant. Use those new security features, be really careful about what you download, and know your rights. Okay, let's totally shift gears from security to the world of entertainment.
All right, for millions of gamers out there, this week brought some pretty disappointing news about one of the most hyped games in history. After it was already pushed back to May 2026, Grand Theft Auto 6 has now been delayed again, with a new release date set for November 19, 2026. Oof.
Rockstar Games says it needs those extra months for, and I quote, the level of polish you have come to expect. But hey, while the gaming world has to wait, the gadget world just keeps on moving. If you're looking for some new tech you can actually get your hands on today, Bose has got you covered.
So Bose just dropped the second generation of its Quiet Comfort Ultra headphones, and honestly, the reviews are a perfect example of the trade-offs you see in consumer tech. Mashable says they are the most comfortable headphones on the market, period, with absolutely world-class noise cancellation. But the sound quality isn't quite as dynamic as some competitors, the spatial audio feature is just kind of meh, and there's no support for some of the high-res audio formats that audiophiles love.
So, the final verdict? A solid, but not perfect, 4 out of 5. It's a great product for sure, just maybe not the massive leap forward from the last generation that some people were hoping for.
So whether you're waiting years for a game or buying a new gadget, it's a good reminder that even the top-tier stuff involves compromises. All right, finally, let's talk about some numbers that are just truly mind-boggling.
This week, Tesla shareholders voted to reapprove a pay package for CEO Elon Musk. Now, to unlock the full value of this thing, Musk has to grow Tesla's market value to an almost unbelievable number, $8.5 trillion. And to get there, he has to hit a series of incredibly ambitious goals that sound like they're straight out of a science fiction movie, including putting 1 million robotaxis on the road and selling 1 million humanoid robots.
Now, not everyone was on board with this. Some big shareholders and advisory firms were strongly against it. But in the end, the proposal passed with a huge majority. Over 75% of shares voted in favor.
So the vote is a massive show of confidence in Musk's leadership, but it comes at a really tricky time for Tesla. As this quote here from The Verge points out, Tesla's position is shakier than ever. The article mentions things like a steep drop in sales and the expiration of some key EV tax credits.
And this all leaves us with one giant lingering question. Can one visionary leader, incentivized by literally the biggest payday in corporate history, actually overcome all these market headwinds and fierce competition to transform a car company into a true AI and robotics juggernaut? I guess only time will tell. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.